cure people of AIDS, but only on certain days of the week. CNN's Jeff Koinange investigates.
3-year-old Suleiman is getting his daily dose of a concoction of herbs and roots. This bottle, that once contained an Aunt Jemima pancake syrup mix, now contains 7 herbs and spices, and a spoonful a day, he's told, will make him better. His mother, Fatuma, does the same for herself, as do several dozen other patients here, all guinea pigs in an experiment that's as controversial as it is unconventional. It all started when this man, a 41-year-old former army colonel, now the country's president, announced to foreign diplomats 2 months ago that he personally would begin treating AIDS patients with the mixture of plants told to him in a dream by his ancestors. The president, who insists on wearing all white robes and always carries a copy of the Quran, has no formal medical training. But he does claim his family has a history of healing people through traditional African medicine. The president says he can only heal AIDS patients on Mondays and Thursdays, while he heals asthma and bronchitis patients only on Wednesdays. Friday is a day of prayer in this mostly Muslim nation of 1.5 million people. 2 weeks into her treatment, Fatuma swears she's fast regaining her appetite, feels strong enough to run a mile, and has nothing but good things to say about her healer president. Nothing can convince her that his powers are anything short of supernatural. It's incredible, she says. I thought I was going to die. Now I feel like I've been reborn. Usman Sow says he's been HIV positive since 1996 and had been taking antiretrovirals for the last 4 years, until he volunteered for this program. 4 weeks later, he says he's gained 30 pounds and feels like a new person.
I am cured at this moment.
What, you don't have any HIV symptoms?
No, I don't. As I stand, I honestly tell you that I cease to have any HIV symptoms.
It's the same reaction we get with patient after patient here. None of them appear as if they've been coached or coaxed into telling us how they feel.
Jumping and eat fine and drink water plenty. I'm happy now. I'm strong.
I give 100% credit to this treatment, yes. 100%, credit.
It's difficult to verify the authenticity of their testimony. Though the government says it has scientific evidence, it did not provide any to CNN. We came to the Gambia at the specific request of the Office of the President. We figured he was ready to tell his story to the world. We've been here 5 days now, and every time we make an attempt to call the President's office, we're given one excuse or another. Then we tried the next best thing, trying to get medical records of the so-called AIDS patients to prove they are indeed on the mend. That too has not been forthcoming.
Okay.
One man who's willing to put his medical license on the line in defense of his president's so-called herbal cure is, not surprisingly, the country's health minister. A trained physician, Tamsin Bowe boasts degrees from medical universities in Ireland and the Ukraine.
I can swear 100% that this this herbal medication His Excellency is using is working. It has the potency to treat and cure patients infected with the HIV virus.
Okay, there are people who are going to watch this interview and say, come on, man, you guys must be kidding. What do you tell them?
I will tell them that as a Western medical trained doctor, I've seen His Excellency, my leader, coming up with medical herbal medications that are able to treat and cure patients infected with HIV virus.
And it makes you wonder what motivates such people.
But not everyone's convinced a medicine man with a bunch of plants has been able to find a cure for a disease that's wiped out entire generations across Africa. In fact, some, like Professor Jerry Kovadia of the University of KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa, insists what the Gambian president is doing is both misleading and damaging to not only the patients, but the health profession as well.
But when someone like the president of a country in Africa comes up publicly with a suggestion which is certainly not rooted in any credible experiments or any credible proof, then one is especially worried.
Gambia's health minister welcomes any and all so-called doubters.
Any scientist, any professor, any medical doctor who wants to verify whether the treatment is effective or not, you are welcome.
A spokeswoman for the United Nations based in the Gambia who spoke out against the president's so-called cure found herself in deep trouble, kicked out of the country within 48 hours. No one around here dares question a man whose face appears just about everywhere in this tiny nation. A nation so impoverished and underdeveloped, it's been ranked among the world's poorest. Experts say it's in places like the Gambia that the poor and desperate will latch onto anything resembling hope. In this case, hope provided by a man who claims he has healing powers. Jeff Koinange, CNN, Banjul in the Gambia.
Meanwhile, the people are not taking the antiretrovirals that they were taking before taking this concoction. Well, speaking of healing powers, a massive effort is underway worldwide to develop an AIDS vaccine.